Hi, it's Danny from Danny's Sports Bar here in Pattaya, looking ahead at the week in the world of sports. A lot going on this week in sports, so let's get right to it. And the event that's starting this week is the NRL Finals in Australia. We started with the AFL Finals last week. We'll get to their second week in a minute, but the NRL starts this week with 4 games. 4 games start off on Friday. Melbourne against the Bulldogs. Storm against the Bulldogs. Storm, they finished second. Bulldogs finished third during the home and away season. Canberra, which finished top of the ladder, they play on Sunday. And on Saturday, I want to look at the first game there because it's the Warriors in New Zealand playing at home against the Penrith Panthers. Penrith finished 7th. But Penrith is a team, of course, that have won the premiership 4 years in a row. And a lot of people have their eye to see what they can do. It's going to be a hard run through it. They're going to play away all the time. You got to go to New Zealand the first week. They're going to have to, can't lose that game, obviously. It's an elimination final. We'll see whether they can do it, but a lot of people are wondering if they can. On to the AFL, where we have the semifinals this week. And Adelaide, which lost to Collingwood last week, now they're going to play Hawthorn on the Friday game. On Saturday, it's the Battle of Queensland, Brisbane Lions against the Gold Coast Suns, who won a thrilling game in Perth last weekend against Fremantle, the Dockers. Those 2 games this week, and then, of course, that'll go on to the preliminary finals the following week. Also this week, we have the return of European football in terms of the leagues. We have a couple of internationals still to play. Serbia at home to England tonight, Tuesday night. But going on, the Premier League will return on Saturday. First game out of the chute at 6:30 on Saturday, Arsenal against Nottingham Forest, who just sacked their manager, Nuno Santos. And they're being replaced, at least reportedly, by Ange Postecoglou, who of course was just sacked by Tottenham Hotspur at the end of last season. That's the first game of the day. The last game of the day on Saturday, or the 11:30 game anyway, there's a late game, the 11:30 game, West Ham against Spurs, which of course is always a very heated contest. West Ham had a horrible first 2 weeks of the season, but then beat Nottingham Forest in the third week, really costing Nuno his job at the end. So that game is on Saturday. On Sunday, we have Liverpool playing Burnley in the 8 o'clock game, and then at 10:30, the Manchester Derby. And of course, those games are always exciting to watch. They're always interesting to follow. That's all the storylines. For so many years, of course, Manchester United was the dominant team in Manchester. Recent years, it's been the other way around with Manchester City. Both teams over the last 12 months, last 6 months, 7, 9 months, have spent a lot of money trying to improve their team because both teams were, in their own way, very disappointed with how their seasons ended last year. Now at the start of this year, City off to a little bit of a slow start. United also maybe a little bit of a slow start, but that game is so big for those teams any year, and in the context of this season, even at this early point, that's a big game. In the U.S., of course, we've got Major League Baseball coming down towards the end. The series this weekend, Yankees and Red Sox, which another series kind of like the Manchester Derby, that's always big no matter when they're playing, but has extra impact this year in terms of playoff implications as we go down towards the end of September and the end of the regular season. College football we have on Saturday, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Northwestern, Oregon. Not the hugest matchups, we'll have that 11 p.m. on Saturday. And there's 9 NFL games on Sunday at midnight, including some other big rivalry games, Giants, Cowboys, Bears, Lions. There's some games that people watch for every year, and we'll be putting them all on. And we have, as I said, so many sports going on. MotoGP also, no Formula One this week, but that's okay. We have enough going on. Come see us.